What if I told you there are some objects in this world that their mere presence can bring doom upon anyone who interacts with them? Three tales, some of them true, some of them false. Join me to unravel these three chilling stories, which some of them are true and some of them are false. Find out, which ones are real and which ones are just fiction. Gabriel got a new house from the company he was working in. He just started a new job, a new factory in a small town in Pakistan. They gave him a job, a better salary, and a house, which still was an old and broken house. But at least he did not have to pay any rent while living there in the first 6 months. Gabriel was 19, and his dream was to give his old parents a nice place to live in, a better life, and more money. He loved them more than anything else, but they were very poor and needed everything. The company gave him this house as a help. New clothes and a life insurance were also part of the contract. Soon after, his parents came in the house. They all realized it would be hard to live the first 6 months if only Gabriel was working. His parents were quite old, and the father was sick, so he could not work at all. Soon after moving in the house, the old couple started cleaning while Gabriel worked 14-16 hours a day every single day. One day while cleaning the house, they found an old chest with a small box in it. It was like a music box, ancient, dusty, and seemed like never got opened by anyone before. The old couple looked at each other, surprised, wondering what the box held inside. "Open it," said the mother. Gabriel was working as usual, so they too were alone at home, trying to clean as much as possible. After they found the box, they sat down on the couch, an old one, old and dusty couch. The father opened the box and found a small old chit. "What is that?" said the mother. "Read it. What does it say?" she said, intrigued. "Or just let us throw this box away." Yes, let me read it," said the father and took out the chit. "You, the finder of this box, are granted 3 wishes. Make a wish, say it out loud, and put this chit inside the box and your wish will be granted. Remember to wish wisely," it said. Both looked at each other. It was mysterious, creepy, and excitement at the same time. They discussed it for a while, trying to just throw it out as they did not believe in those things. "Should we try it?" the mother said. "Don't tell me you believe in it," said the father, surprised. "No, I don't," she replied. "But we don't lose anything in trying," she continued. The father was skeptical, but at the end, he was intrigued too. They took out the chit, and they agreed to make the first wish. "Give us a lot of money," they said out loud and put the chit inside the box. 2 hours went by and nothing happened. When someone knocked at the door, they looked at each other, surprised as they never had guests, and Gabriel was working. He was supposed to come at night. Mother opened the door. A man was standing. "Are you Gabriel's family?" "Yes," the mother replied. "Your son has unfortunately had an accident and died in the factory," said the man, saddened and stuttering. The mother and father were devastated hearing it and started crying, broken and almost dead themselves. They closed the door and started crying like crazy. Another man came soon after and knocked out the door again. The father, completely broken, in tears, opened it and received a check from the man. He said that the life insurance of his son from the company are offering them money for the loss of his life. Both of them were lost in sorrow. The father was sitting holding that check of a lot of money and looking at the floor, shocked. The mother approached him and took the check. She looked at it and said, "That's money," she said, crying and disturbed. "That's a lot of money." She ripped the check apart in rage, crying and hating herself for wishing money as she realized the wish. "Did you notice?" she said, crying. "We wished for money and we got it. she said, distressed and angry. Father realized that too and took the box to throw it away in anger, but Mother stopped him and told him to wish again. They did not want that kind of money without Gabriel. For them, their life was Gabriel, their only son. No, it's cursed. This box is evil. Let's throw it out, said the father, quite angry. No, replied the mother. I want my son back. I want Gabriel back. Wish it. I want him back. We threw the check out. Please, she begged him. The father wanted the same as her, so he kept the box and opened it. He took the chit out and both said, "Give us back Gabriel. Make him alive again. We don't want that money." And they put the chit inside again. Some moments passed when someone knocked at the door again. Both seemed scared and hopeful to see their son back. So the mother went to the door quickly and opened it. "Mother, Mother!" Gabriel was standing in front of her. His neck was broken. His tongue was out. One of his eyes about to pop out, full-blooded, and 2 arms broken. The skull half open. "Mother, Mother," he continued. Both of them were traumatized and afraid, scared of what they were seeing. It was not their son. It was a monster-like creature, dead, with no life in his body. They tried to close the door while Gabriel was trying to get in. They were so afraid, in sorrow, pain, and frightened at the same time. Father went straight to the box while Mother was holding the door closed. "Mother, Mother," was she still hearing? Her tears were dropping like never before, and the pain she was suffering was out of this world. "Take him back. Take Gabriel back where he came from." Father made the third and final wish. "Mother, Mother," Gabriel was calling as his voice faded away. After that day, both the couple left the house. They left everything behind, just living the rest of their lives in pain. The box is still in that old house, waiting for the next wishes.
What do you think about this story? Was there really a box granting 3 wishes, like Aladdin's lamp? Or is that our wish to make you believe in this story? Find out at the end of the video. Time equals life. As long as you have time, you have life. So time is actually the most precious thing you have. But what about if a clock, the one thing that shows you time, it's actually the one that takes it from you? In our next story, you're gonna find out.
Stephen was a clockmaker and started long ago making and repairing clocks. With time, he started his own repairing company and hired his best friend James, who was even better than him. One day, a letter came from the city of Prague. He received the offer to repair a clock, a special and famous clock in the city's clock tower. He happily accepted the offer as the amount he would receive was amazingly high. Stephen sent his best man James to do the job and offered him a big amount of money too. The day after, in a foggy evening, James came to the city and walking through its wonderful streets and waving to its nice people, he went straight for the clock tower. He had the whole evening to start his work and 2 days to finish it. The clock was a masterpiece, the only one of its kind. It was not any kind, it was an astronomical clock, one of the most beautiful ever made in the world. But the clock was believed to be cursed and the whole city knew it. Once at the door, James realized how everyone near the tower was looking at him. Not only any look, it was a pity look, like people were aware of the danger James was going into. It was like they wanted to stop him without saying anything. At one point, James got annoyed, so he asked a lady that just went by why the people were so weird towards him. She told him that the clock tower is cursed for anyone who tries to repair it. The curse came from its maker, who died inside the clock tower and cursed it. And she also recommended him not to try to repair the clock by any means. James asked further why and what this curse was about. The lady said no more and went away. He did not believe any of it and was just happy to get so much money for repairing a clock so unique in the world. He then ignored all the people looking at him and went inside the tower. He climbed the rickety staircase to the top and looked amazed at the clock's work, the amazing gears and unique design. It was dark, so he took out his lantern that made the glow even more beautiful. He kept going up to the top. At the top, he contemplated the amazing clock gears again. Astonished of its beauty, he opened his bag and took out his tools. He needed to see what the problem was and started working right away. As he tinkered with the gears, the air grew colder, and a whisper seemed to come from the walls. Something whispering, "Go away." Goosebumps he felt, and stopped to look around. Nothing unusual other than the whispers. He then started the work again, thinking it might have been the air. It was also almost night when James felt a cold hand on his shoulder. It felt cold as ice, and it grabbed him forcefully. James felt a horrific feeling of fear, but he still turned slowly. In his head he was blank, not knowing what to believe nor expect. The grip was steady and gruesome. Once, totally turned, he saw it. The ghostly figure of Hans, the clockmaker who died centuries ago. His empty eyes filled with vengeance. He whispered again, leaning his body towards James. The heart rate went completely crazy, and he had problems breathing, but managed somehow to scream. A scream that echoed through the square as the clock struck midnight. An echo that only was heard once. 2 days had passed, and Stephen came to the city to check on James, as he did not give him any message on how the work was going. Stephen went up to the clock tower. He also realized the weirdness of the people staring at him. He arrived at the clock tower and went upstairs, where he saw James sitting in a corner, completely dehydrated and mumbling something. Stephen moved fast towards him and asked him what was wrong, if he was okay. When James took up his head, a reflection of Hans' face covered in blood appeared. Stephen fell behind from the shock, but then saw James crying and mumbling something, not being in himself, covered in dust and blood. Stephen took James to the hospital to realize that he had lost his sanity and became mentally ill for the rest of his life. He then read all about the clock tower and the curse, and how the city council had taken Hans' eyes out as punishment, so he never could make any other clock like this for any other city in the world, because Hans had got many offers. Hans cursed the clock tower. Hans died inside the clock and cursed it for it never to be repaired again. Anyone who ventures either dies or gets insane for the rest of his life.
Is that real? Can a clock and a clock tower be cursed? Well, let's find out at the end of the video. A chest that brings death and calamity to its owners. That's our next story.
Mary Lou found out about her grandmother's passing from her lawyer. They were not close to each other. Her grandmother acted weird and was not very social when she was alive. After her death, she left a will giving her granddaughter everything she had: money, jewelry, and especially her big house, along with everything in it. Mary Lou felt sorry for her grandmother and accepted everything she left her. She soon moved to the big house. It was amazing, owning such a big house and so much money. Her two children, Kevin and Anna, and her husband, Peter, were all happy to be house owners. One day, while she was cleaning, an antique chest sat in the corner of the living room. Hidden behind a small cushion, it appeared. It was mysterious, and old, even ancient, you could say. The chest had 5 drawers, and was not so big and looked good. She placed the chest in the living room again, using it to store her jewelry, while his husband used one of the drawers to store his car keys. The two children put their toys into some drawers. One night, Mary heard some weird noises. When she woke up, went to the main hall, she felt something, coldness and a shivering through her body. Someone was sitting on her couch. She saw the silhouette from behind, white and curly hair like an old lady's. As she approached the door, the lady turned and screamed at her, "Throw it away!" Mary got shocked and screamed too, and Peter came down. Nothing happened, but Mary would never sleep again the same way as before. The next day, Mary had lost her jewelry. She couldn't find anything. Peter was late for work. He could not help her find it, so he just took the car and went to work. On his way, the car started picking up speed by itself. He tried to stop it, but the brakes failed to respond. Peter had the worst accident of his life, which resulted in him getting into a coma. Mary and the two children came home from the hospital. When Anna started to behave weirdly, she took a knife from the kitchen and started stabbing her doll. The doll, Mary, tried to stop her. When she stabbed Mary too. Anna was acting like possessed. Mary had minor injuries and Anna was admitted to a mental institution soon after. The family was not as before anymore, and sorrow got onto the house. Mary kept having dreams of her grandmother stopping her from using the chest, but she always thought of them as just dreams. One day, she kept Kevin's gloves inside one of the drawers. The next day, she saw Kevin almost jumping from the attic window. She ran to stop him when she saw him in a trance, like hypnotism, like possession. She stopped him and took him down when she realized he had those gloves on. She stopped him and took him down when she realized he had those gloves on she had put in the chest. Mary realized there was something evil about the chest, and she threw it away. Soon after, her husband came to itself, and Anna was also better and came home. She sold the house and moved to another city. The chest was found and remains an unsolved mystery.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to reveal the truth. What do you think about the clock tower? Was this a real story? Can a clockmaker curse its own clock? Well, this story is true. This astronomical clock tower and the clock exist, and they are actually situated in Prague. Let's take a look at the story of the box. 3 wishes, and they wished their son coming back. That could be, a real story in Pakistan. But no, not this time. This one was made up. What about this cursed chest? Was it cursed in reality? Well, it was, and it actually exists. Kentucky. We hope you liked this video, and see you in the next one with more stories like that. Please subscribe, and see you in the next one.